My name is Jeff Hardin. I'm a professor and the chair of the Department of Integrative Biology at the University of Wisconsin-Madison. I am a scientist, and I'm an educator, and I'm also a follower of Jesus. This is my story. I was born in Milwaukee, but when I was 4, we moved away to the Washington, D.C. area. That's where I grew up. My parents actually went to church when I was a little boy, and I have some remembrance of that. But then my parents drifted away from traditional Christian faith, and I wasn't really raised in a Christian home. Did elementary school, and then in middle school, a classmate of mine invited me to what she said would be a free time with music and free food, and I thought, that sounds great. I went to this meeting, and I had no idea what was happening. There was a person up front talking about things I'd never experienced before, telling me that I needed to come forward and make a decision for Christ. And I looked around and people were doing that right and left of me. And I thought, well, I better do that too. But I didn't really know what I was doing. Then I went back several months later, and that's when something different happened. The speaker was saying that I had a problem that I couldn't solve. That's a problem that the Bible calls sin. It was something that kept me from experiencing the love of an incredibly holy, absolutely morally pure God who loved me deeply. And in fact, he loved me so much that he had provided a remedy for that situation, something that I couldn't do for myself, and that was that he had sent his son to die for me, and that if I put my trust in Christ, then I could experience God's love and forgiveness. And it was as if there was no one else in that room that night, and I realized what the speaker was saying was true. And so that night I gave my life to Christ. I put my trust in him. And my life was different after that. There were things that immediately changed about my life, even in middle school. Then at the end of high school, I went to Michigan State, and there I experienced what many college students experience. My spiritual life completely bottomed out. Partway through my sophomore year, I came to a crisis point. I came to the point of saying either Christianity is true and I need to orient my entire life around my relationship with Christ, knowing and serving him, or I needed to walk away from this faith that I said I believed but really didn't. And at that point I knew Christianity is true. It is the truth. Jesus himself is the way, the truth, and the life. And I needed to orient my whole life around that. And that launched me for the rest of my life. Now I'm a scientist, so a lot of people ask me, well, science and Christianity, aren't they at odds with one another? And I would say absolutely not. Jesus, the same Lord who I followed all of my adult life, is the Lord of all creation, the Lord of water, earth, sky, all of the biological world. And so for me, doing science is an act of appreciation of this incredible world that this same Lord, my Lord, has created. The administrative building for my college, the College of Letters and Science, is called South Hall. On the side of South Hall is a plaque, and it quotes Jesus of Nazareth from something that he is recorded as saying in the Gospel of John, John 8:32. The plaque says, "You shall know the truth, and the truth will set you free." Well, if you look at the context there, the truth is found in a person, in the person of Jesus. Jesus of Nazareth is where we can find truth. Truth for ourselves, truth about the world, truth about what the world needs, truth about what we need. By engaging that kind of truth, it's my prayer that students will consider the bigger questions of life. And those bigger questions of life ultimately find their answer in Jesus.